Hey guys, Kevin Downey, thanks so much for taking the time. Really appreciate it. So in this video, what I want to do, and you'll notice I'm zoomed in really, really far. What I want to do is cut to the chase on how you use Aptive Index to screen candidates for any position in your company, but at the same time, still consider, resume, skills and experience and those kinds of things when hiring and you're a client of Aptive Index and using the software in your organization. So I want to walk through that. I just have to make a quick note. Because of YouTube's policies, I have to zoom this in really close and not show anything below the fold because it has people's contact information, so I can't show that on screen. So I'm not going to be able to show you the match percentage, but you'll just have to trust me that it's there. Okay. So anyway, Aptive Index. So if you're not familiar with it, right, it is a software, and the science has been around forever, and I talk about this in other videos, that measures people's cognitive psychology attributes, cognitive attributes for short. This is our wiring, our hard wiring, that basically is our, how do you say it, needs and motivations that drive our decisions and actions, right? And it's established when we're young, and it doesn't change in our lifetime. Unlike everything else that psychology looks at and measures when you look at personality tests and IQ and emotional intelligence and all that stuff, all of those things change. They change based on skills or experience, learning, day-to-day, emotional experiences, so on and so forth. This software is something, and it's science, is something that measures something that doesn't change, right? So you can take Aptive Index now and you can take it in 5 years and you're going to be within really close to the exact same. Doesn't change, okay? So if you go to use it, it is the best predictor of future success or fit for a job, future success for somebody in a job. Absolutely, right? But that doesn't mean that we still don't consider other things when we're hiring, right? So if you are looking at Aptive Index, understand, and what I'm doing here is I'm showing you a job profile for a job called Strategic Advisor, which I would say is consultative sales, right? And there's a part here I can't show because I want to show you the AI and not lose it, but this is intensity. So intensity is over here. So we're high I, mid S, relatively low C, mid to low P, and high intensity, right? So that's the pattern, the wiring pattern that we're looking for that kind of job, right? And you can do this for every position you hire for in your company. You are trained, hiring managers and recruiters are trained on how to build these, right? But in addition to that, Aptive Index can help you, right? But in addition to that, you can actually give, if you have people in a department already, you can give everybody the Aptive Index, right? Which you're going to want to do anyway because you want to give it to everybody in your company. I'm going to show you why here in a minute with the AI. But everybody in your company is going to take it. So let's say in a department they take it, and you've got 3 top performers, and then you've got 5 that are anywhere from so-so to not so great. Your 3 top performers are all pretty close in terms of pattern, right? What they look like on the dots, as we call it, is pretty similar. All right, so now we know that rather than just an educated guess of building out a job, we literally know that these people are our top performers. We want to replicate these people, and you can do that. And then everybody that takes it comes into this thing, and they're given a match percentage against the job. Then if they match to a certain degree, now they are worth looking at their background, their skills and experience, their resume, right? So we want to use this first because it doesn't matter what the resume says. It doesn't matter what skills and experience background they have. If the pattern doesn't fit, they're going to be a mishire, right? We know that. Statistically, it's proven, right? They are consistently going to underperform. They're going to be labeled as mishires, and sometimes they're going to end up as toxic hires, right? Toxic employees, okay? So in addition, though, to getting a match percentage against the pattern, right? The other thing you can do is you can ask the AI, and that's the beauty of Aptive Index and what it does. So what goes beyond, right, somebody having to be trained, every single in the company that has direct reports, HR and internal recruiters, right? And it's, Aptive Index is competition. Anybody that's going to use it's going to have to be trained on it in a multi-day workshop because they have to understand the science and be able to read, right, the dots and the patterns in order to consult for themselves on whether somebody is a fit for a job. With Aptive Index, you don't have to do that. So while they do have that training, and it is provided to companies, and it's virtually no cost, there's a little bit of cost to it, but it's nominal. the AI is so powerful that every single user of the platform, anybody that has a direct report, anybody in HR, internal recruiters, the executive team, everybody, owners obviously, can jump on here and ask the AI, right? So not only can we get a match percentage against a job, which I showed you, I didn't show you the match percentage because I can't, because the people's email addresses are there. And again, YouTube doesn't like that. So we're hiding, we're not showing that. But now we can look at me just as an example and strategic advisor fit analysis. And we're using me as the example, right? How and why am I a fit for the role? And the AI is going to give you an in-depth answer to that question, right? So now when you're hiring and you're utilizing Aptive Index as a client, you are putting every potential hire through it, getting their assessment. You're looking at their profile, probably have a base understanding of whether or not they're a fit just by matching against the job. And then the system can do that for you, give you a match percentage, but then you can also read into it. Then when you know they are a relatively good fit based on their wiring pattern, their profile, now we look at their resume and we see and look at skills and experience and conduct first interview. Okay. That's how you want to use it for hiring. It is the most predictive way. It is the most accurate way to predict future success when hiring people for a company, hands down. Anyway, statistics are all out there for that. I cover that in another video. If you have any questions, reach out to us. If you want to take it, you should have a link. If you don't have a link, email me or go to our website, kevinmdowney.com. Appreciate you being here today. Thanks so much. Best of luck in business, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.